Ryan Martin is going to come out and actually show these things working together. So take it away, Ryan.
Yeah, thank you, James. Thank you, Dave. So today what we're going to look at is how the Adobe Marketing Cloud and Dynamics 365 really help drive digital transformation and allow you to engage customers in new ways. Specifically, we're going to be looking at how Microsoft are adopting these solutions, and in this demo example, I'm going to play two separate personas. The first persona is of a lead, Reint van der Meulen from Dunlop Protective Footwear, who is looking at Dynamics 365 for his organization. And as Reint takes these actions, we're going to be qualifying that lead, and we're going to pass it on to the second persona that I'm going to play, which is Veronica, a Microsoft sales representative. So let's get started. As I mentioned, I'm Reint right now, a lead who's browsing the Dynamics 365 website. So I'm gathering information here, but I'm anonymous at this particular point. And as I start to drill in further, I'm looking at the capabilities around Dynamics 365 for sales, and I'm perhaps watching a video or I'm requesting a demo. Now, why is this important? Because in the background with Adobe Marketing Cloud, we're actually able to follow all of the steps that are taking place. For example, as I drill into the capabilities of our sales app, I start to see that infused artificial intelligence and what we've done with Sales Navigator for personal engagements is important to me. So at this particular moment, I'm quite busy during the day, and I go to a meeting that I have, and I stop actually the browsing of what I've done. As I return from that particular meeting, probably like many of you, you check the news, you start to read some articles. But what Adobe has actually done here, based on the actions that I've taken, is provided a targeted ad for Dynamics 365. And as I click on this targeted ad, that's actually the moment that I become a qualified lead. I provide specific details, and we can start to pass this on to a sales representative. So for those of you who are interested, what does that journey actually look like in Adobe? This is an example of the campaign flow that's actually running in real time, and as we get to a particular moment in the qualification score, we're passed on to Dynamics 365. So I'm going to switch personas now. I'm going to become the sales representative working at Microsoft. I'm Veronica. I'm in Dynamics 365 for sales, and of course, I have all of the information that we've just seen. First of all, I'm given a step-by-step business process that's going to give me the actions we need to take to qualify this lead. Secondly, and I think this is maybe one of the most important pieces, oftentimes a lot of data is captured by marketing, and it's not passed on to our sales colleagues. They don't know what happened as that anonymous lead was browsing the website. So what we're actually able to do here is see every single action that Reint took on our website. For example, he browsed relationship sales, he watched the overview, he even had signed up for an invitation for a trial. So as I'm having the dialogue with Reint on the phone, I'm actually able to inquire about the steps that were taken and take action on those things. So let's fast forward in our story a couple weeks. I'm a salesperson, and something I care a lot about is my bonus. And I have a quota, and I'm not going to make that quota at this moment. Perhaps you see here, I have over a 500,000 problem reaching the quota for the end of this year, so it's not going to be good at home either. So as I drill in, what I want to do is see how I'm going to solve that quota. And every CRM system we know out there has a pipeline. And of course, that pipeline has an estimated closing date, it has a probability, it has an estimated revenue. And we have that as well. But this is where Dynamics 365, Office 365, and Azure really start to play together. So perhaps you see here in the center of the screen, we see relationship health. And at the deal that we're looking at on Dunlop, it's fair and steady. And how is that calculated? It's based on structured and unstructured data. So all of the communications we're sending in the form of an email, a phone call, a meeting, anything that our team members are doing is being aggregated against a set of KPIs, and it's being analyzed across all the other opportunities in the system. And it's actually telling me that I'm in a fair state and the health is not improving. So now I'd like to drill in and see what kind of best next actions are we going to get to improve the health state in the application. So I've been sending Reint some emails, and I actually see that I sent him another email 3 hours ago. He did open it, but he's not responding to me. Now, what Dynamics is doing with the relationship assistant is actually saying, hey, we'll give you a best next action, which is actually to utilize the power of your LinkedIn network to ask for a warm introduction to this person you're trying to sell to. Now, as you probably know, the LinkedIn network is over 500 million members strong, and as I select this here, right in Dynamics 365, we have that network in the palm of our hands. So I can see that Reint is a second-degree connection, but I can actually look here at the Get Introduced area and start to see the related connections that we have in common. And it just so happens to be that Alfred, someone that I've spent a lot of time working with in the past, is a first-degree connection with Reindt. And probably you all know as well that cold calling is not as easy as it's going to be when you ask someone to respond to them on your behalf. So let's actually go ahead and take that action. I'm going to reach out to Reindt here, and what you'll notice is we jump into the Sales Navigator experience, but for those of you who are worried about data consistency, every single action I take in Sales Navigator is fully synchronized with Dynamics 365, and we have the 360-degree view. So as we type Alfred a message here, and we have a little script running so I don't make any typing mistakes, so don't worry, I'm not that good of a typer. But as we type this message in, we're actually going to ask him for the introduction, and we're going to send that. Now the good news is that Alfred actually did provide the introduction to Reindt. We start to gain some tractions, and I want to get back to where we started with in this demonstration, and that's giving Reindt the valuable information about Dynamics 365. And what I've done, another tool within LinkedIn, is prepare a point drive. This is a digital dossier of the content that I've prepared that I think is most applicable to the customers that I'm dealing with. So I'm very easily able here to get a link, send that to Reindt, and then, as Reindt starts to view the information, I can look at the statistics that are available around that dossier. Now again, this is something marketing organizations have had always the capability to do in terms of landing pages and number of viewers that they've got, but now a sales representative can create their own dossier and get those same insights. So I can actually look at the viewers here, see that Reindt is looking at the information I've sent, I receive an email from Reindt to make a quotation, and we actually drive the deal towards closure. So what I've shown so far today is we started with a completely anonymous lead looking at our website, all the way to that lead becoming qualified, me encountering a blocked, stalled deal, using the power of my network to unblock that deal, provide content to them, and I can happily say Dunlop Protective Footwear are a happy customer of Dynamics 365. So